Welcome back to the Bo channel. It's Bo LaBrash here. Like and subscribe, share if you like. We're going to talk about Joseph Goebbels and the guy with the German with the funny mustache, Schmittler. The way that whole thing worked was Joseph Goebbels was the propaganda man. And Trump is using the same tactics, the same division, fear, hatred, repeat. That's where all this propaganda is coming from. It doesn't matter what it is, really. Just spread division and hate. So they're going to say the LGBTQs with the drag queens. I don't even know how that works. How are you going to have all that gear and read books in front of children and their families, and that's sexualizing? I think there's a problem between the ears. But seriously, it's just, oh, fear, fear, fear. Well, as the Epstein files are coming out, we're finding out that the whole time it was right-wingers that have been doing this. Look, check it out. There's more churches than there are gay bars. Churches have to have sexual assault and molestation insurance, SAM insurance. Gay bars don't have to have that, and there's way more churches than gay bars. So that's more fear and division and hate. Just repeat, just keep spreading that, and then people will just vote according to that instead of, I mean, the wages since 1970 have been stagnant in the trades, and at the trades, it kind of just works its way down. So they can just keep paying. That's why the minimum wage doesn't really climb, because if minimum wage goes up, you're going to have to pay more for your Big Mac, your Whopper. And that's kind of true, but they're not focusing on that. Instead of focusing on that, the left is killing babies with abortion. And, you know, Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger did in fact teach Schmittler about eugenics, you know, breeding. There's a caste system in this whole thing. I may be white and have some white privilege, but there's still a caste system. I'm white trash. I'm at the bottom of the white scale, and then it goes from there. I'm not trying to glorify any of it. It all sucks, but that is how it works. And yeah, so Joseph Goebbels told Schmittler, it doesn't matter what you say, just keep saying it clearly and often, and keep saying it over and over again, and the majority will believe you. Just look at the debate with Kamala, when they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. It's propaganda, it's fear, it's hatred, it's repeat. These are the kinds of pieces of history that we need to learn so that we can spot it. This is why I never did like Trump. When he first came out in 2016, I mean, honest, I didn't vote for Hillary, so I kind of voted for him, but I didn't vote at all. Anyhow, I digress. He kept talking about, you know, we got to close the border wall, we got to make a wall. Well, all it did was stop the critters. All it did was stop the little critters from migrating back and forth, because they're going to find a way to go over the wall. I mean, look at October 7th in Israel. They flew right over the wall to make that attack. They can fly over the wall this time too. They just find a spot. It was on TikTok or whatever. They were checking out and finding where the hole was in the wall, and they would all migrate to that hole and get in that way. So the wall didn't prevent anybody from getting over. Painting it black, all these little tricks that Trump wants to do, it's just, it's just to make his base happy. And his base is stuck in fear, hatred, and division. They're scared of, white people are going to be the minority. That is completely possible. Most likely. There's a reason why it hasn't happened yet. Missing and indigenous women. That's on, I believe that's on purpose. The Indian Affairs aren't keeping up with that. Nobody's talking about that. Except indigenous women and men saying, hey, we're suffering here. Stop hurting us. I don't want to take away from anybody else's culture. I want to learn from their culture and let people be people. God doesn't want us all to be the same. If he wanted us all to be the same, we'd all be the same. I mean, we all bleed red and we all have families and we all have, heartaches and stuff like that. We're all human the same, but we have different cultures. And why would we want to be the same? That doesn't even make any sense to me. Why would we want to be the same? So, I'm not here for the division, and I'm here to support all the American brothers and sisters. If your people are from here, you're from here. Otherwise, everybody else is from somewhere else. I mean, there's a reason why the first immigrants were from Europe. They wanted white immigrants. Now we're getting, we attack all these brown countries and then bring those folks over here. Some of those folks end up over here because they help with the CIA or the FBI or whatever, and they get asylum for whatever reason, and then they come over here and they bring their families. That's what it's about. I mean, California, the rice, the way they had set up the rice, they're like one of the #1 producers of rice because of the Chinese. Taught us how to grow the rice. We can't forget, cultural appropriation is taking that and saying we did it. We didn't do that. The Chinese did that. The Mexicans did the rancheros that became cowboys. And before and in between there was the black slaves in Texas that would be called cowboys because they weren't allowed to be men. That's where the name came from. Taking it and making it our own, like rock and roll and country music, is cultural appropriation. It's taking it and making it ours and then forgetting who did that. I'm not trying to forget who did what, and I'm trying to appreciate everybody together, and because that's what's going to make America great, is working together. The fear, division, and hatred is not going to help. Anyway, God bless. Happy New Year's coming up. That's enough for this episode. I think I covered everything on this. God bless. Out.